How is your professional life in France without speaking French?
Initially, they told me that my inability to speak French will not be a problem. I cleared the first 2 rounds of the interview. I was very excited. But during my discussion with them, they told me nicely that I should call them back after mastering French.
Well, for me, I need to finish my internship to complete my master's program. And I've sent so many CVs, but I got a few calls back, and the moment they see that I don't speak French, they just say désolé and au revoir.
I sent my CV to a company that I really admired, and they did like it. I was doing just fine with all the email conversations because my boyfriend helped me a lot. But then when it comes to real Zoom interview, I was hesitating on French and I had difficulties finding my words. Well, obviously I don't speak French fluently, so they never called me back.
I worked in the marketing department of a big company. Well, there was this case when people less qualified than me were getting promoted. And when I spoke to my HR, she told me that she was sorry, and for the next level, they needed someone who was convincing in French.
I even tried to get unpaid internships to complete my studies, but the opportunities I was getting was far from what I did in my school. Meanwhile, my classmates who are from Francophone countries managed to get better opportunities because of their excellent French.
I was lucky. I got my internship in my first interview. But I know international classmates who had many difficulties. I remember a classmate who graduated with me. He's now delivering pizza, waiting for a good opportunity.
How is your social life in France without speaking French?
When I go to meet friends of Chloe, my French girlfriend, they usually try to speak English for some time and then quickly change back to French. And I only hear words that I don't even understand, but I still have to keep a smiling face as I don't want to seem rude or anything. I obviously laugh while others laugh just to be in the ambiance, but honestly, I don't even understand the joke.
People try to speak to me in English as my colleagues really care for me and want to include me. But they are not natural this way. I wish I could interact with them in French with more ease.
There are Facebook groups where you can get to know different people. Sometimes I cannot join the discussion as I cannot express my feelings. Browser translation does help me understand what others are saying, but I cannot participate.
I have a basic knowledge of French, but when I write something, I get trolled by people for the mistakes I make. So I have stopped writing on social media or participating in online discussions with French people.
When I go to meet my French friends, sometimes they try to speak in English, and that changes the rhythm of their conversation. Not all of my friends like this, so sometimes I feel isolated and I miss out on their jokes.
I have just finished my studies, but I do not get many opportunities to interact with English-speaking girls. Without French, getting a French girlfriend is very difficult.
I wish I had good knowledge of French and could meet interesting people.
What difficulties do you have learning French as an international student in France?
A French language program is not affordable for international students, especially if we have to pay rent and living expenses or even doing a part-time job. There are classes that are proposed by the City Hall, but usually those get filled up too quickly.
I don't have the time and energy to study French because my days are full with classes at my school and I do a part-time job.
Schedules of regular classes and French classes overlap, and I have to focus on my main program.
The French language program proposed by the school is too short to learn working level French. There is just 1 class per week for 40 students. We are just left to manage on our own.
There is a belief that French is too hard to learn, that it is not worth that effort or time. This is totally false. French is essential if you live in France. From buying a croissant at the bakery to filing your tax returns, with French, your life will be easier, believe me.
I was told in my country that French is not necessary in France and I will be able to manage without French. This is not true. It's just misinformation propagated by agents. After being in France, it's clear as daylight to me that I need to speak good French. This is especially obvious when I was looking for an internship which is necessary for my graduation.
If you are an international student coming to France, start with DFLIS program at Centre Zenith, a foundation program to learn and become fluent in French. Integrate into the French culture and choose a study program that you really dream of. You can start with our DFLIS program before joining a master's or a bachelor's program in France. How do you feel about the DFLIS program?
It's wonderful.
I love it.
I wish I knew about this earlier.
It will surely make my life in France much easier.
Take your French to the next level. Start DFLIS program at Centre Zenith. For more information, click the link below.